Alright, the other video's uploading. What I did here is I got online and I searched. And I come up with a few sites like the PC Hammer and a lot of the shit the LS guys really using, and EEPROM programming, which basically is what I do with the Baofeng radios. And there was a couple sites here. You might have seen my links, you know, the DrewTech tool and something else there. I don't know, SR something. I have no idea. And then this here was the Chrysler software. I was trying, you know, like anybody else, searching everywhere, trying to get that bootleg Holy Grail copy of, you know, the dealer software or that scan tool, you know, to do the skims and all that. And I'll get into that here in a minute. But so I tore this apart, got the case off and checked for water. And then I found some, you know, site online that sold this thing. And you can see I dug out for the JTAG or the serial port connector. And then eventually, I've got pictures saved. I could try to post them, but you got to dig more shit out here and put a resistor in somewhere to turn this chip on. Because these are your processors or ROMs, and they're internal. And it ain't like pulling a pin or one of these little six-legged bastards out here. I don't know, that's a diode, but you know, the EEPROMs are buried, and this computer here is a whole different animal. Apparently you can pull one of the EEPROMs out of this and do, but it's got the same internal kind of setup, so maybe I could figure something out. But so I bought this $20 EEPROM bullshit key, because I did manage to get this to work on a couple radios, and I got an older BMW. I was able to scrape shit off and put this on my key and program another key from my car without having to go to the dealer, only to find out that somebody I know has the BMW software or one of them programmers, and he can disable it, so I'm just going to have him disable it. And that gets into with the skim module shit. Now, I was putting these computers in. If you watched my short or video on the Jeep, I had one of these Chrysler computers here. This is the original Jeep computer, and there's the number. That's my number. This is the original Wrangler computer. This computer's out of a van. I don't know by now. I scratched some shit on some of these computers here, what they were, but I must not have scratched it. This one's out of one of them caravans. Regardless, there's the number. You can look it up. This here, I don't even know what I took this out of. I don't even know if I plugged this in. I honestly don't know. This one here for sure is the 04 RAM, because somewhere I had scratched on it. Somewhere. I don't know where, but I definitely know that's the 04 RAM. I left this one run dirty with the VIN number, and changed my tire size, calibrated my dash. This van computer, yeah, this one here, I had two or three of these. They were for the 3.3 or 3.8. I did the skim thing, and like I said, what they're not telling you online is there's a true skim delete where they hard code it. Somebody gets in there with a computer and hard codes it and takes it off. And then there's a learning mode, and that's what they're not telling you. It's a big goddamn secret. I don't know if that's what I did by accident, but I had one of these van computers. I just stuffed it in the Jeep, and I fired it up, and it ran for 30 seconds and quit. And I was ecstatic because this computer here, I didn't get nothing out of, no life at all. It's through random codes. So I figured this would work. Or maybe not this one of them, either way. So I took that skim module and that key that I took with one of these computers. It might even be this one, I don't know. And instead of hardwiring it into my steering wheel, I had the pigtail out of the van. I first go around, I just stuffed the wires into the CAN bus port thing. you know, the OBD2 port, because all you needed was your can high, can low, power and ground, and it was all there. Then I jammed my OBD2 connector in there behind it, and that kind of held everything together. Well, I went into skim module, whatever, and it said PCM replace, PCM calibration, nothing, or whatever. And I programmed in my VIN number, but I don't remember which order I did this in, because I think I put the skim module in with the OBD2 port, fired this thing up, and the Jeep ran, and I took it for a ride around town, and then that's whenever I permanently wired in that harness thing for the skim module or whatnot. And then when I come back, I unplugged it and changed my VIN number to my Jeep's VIN number, and I don't have it on hand anywhere. I'll give it to somebody. Maybe this is the key, to have a VIN number that was never equipped with a skim module. I mean, I don't know, but I put it in there, and it fired up. The dashboard light come on, and it ran and shut off. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to need that skim module. So I put that skim module back in, and when I put it in the second time, I went into PCM replace, PCM whatever, tried the program thing, and while I was programming it, this big giant yellow jacket flew into the Jeep, and it was getting pretty close to my balls and whatnot, and I went to kick it, and when I kicked it, of course, this skim module was hanging by the wires. It fell out at the exact same moment that my scan tool said complete, and I'm like, oh damn it, I just bricked this thing. Well, I hit the key, the yellow light come on the dash and stayed on, and the Jeep kept running. So I honestly don't know, and I ain't trying to pull anybody's leg to cover up for somebody selling you the $300, $200 skim delete bullshit, but there is two things. There's one where it's permanent deleted, somebody actually goes in and knows what they're doing and codes it out. And then the one that I seen online is basically what I did. I don't know how I did it. Maybe my tool did it. I don't want to risk it. So every time I go to the junkyard now, I try to keep these skims and these computers together. And my dash is already cunted. So, I mean, I don't care. I can take the bulb out. But I try to get these with the black key. So, that's what I've been doing. But I did manage to get one of these van computers to run without the skim, and I don't honestly know how I did it. And if I knew how to do it, I'd tell you and save you some money, because I've got the Altel, and it was the PCM, TCM replaced, because I did the transmission coding. I changed the mileage on the dash to make it match with the computer miles, and tried to do the PCM thing to get it to work with my VIN number. But like I said, it did something. Maybe you need to yank the wires out right before the tool finishes, and that might be a workaround, because I see people doing shit like that where they get the scam tool tricked into this computer, and they unplug this computer, you know, out of their vehicle and leave the tool on and the key on and put this in and then flash over. I don't know how much is into it, but if it works, it works. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this thing didn't run at all, and I had nothing to lose. Worst case, I was going to have to get onto like the popular sites there and buy the computer and bend over backwards. But this one here, like I said, I bought this little programmer. My intention was to try it. I haven't done anything with this computer at all. Just took it out of the Jeep other than scrape that hole up. My intention was to try to see if I could read the flash off of this with this stupid thing, because I've done it with a couple little other mini ROMs, just following some YouTube tutorials, and I figured one of these has got to be the same, and that's why some of these screws, well, this one here I didn't have a part, but one of these ones I tore apart, like this one here, and every damn screw broke. And I don't know if I could get this machine here to read or what I'm even looking at, but my intention was just to read this and spit it in one of these and put it in the Jeep and see what happened. I mean, I don't really know nothing at all about the programming shit. I usually just follow tutorials online. I know a little bit about the radios, and it's the same thing. It's a hex editor, but they're all labeled. Somebody's come up with the pattern and give it to you. I think the program's called Chirp. You go to the radio and it kind of puts it in a spreadsheet. But this here, this template, it's a big goddamn secret. So I'm going to cut it off here.